we will continue our discussion on the correspondent banking and NRI accounts. So friends, here in this part we are going to study the different what is the NRI, that is a non-resident Indian, and different NRI accounts that we are going to discuss. So friends, very first, what do we mean by NRI? So basically, what is the actual meaning of the non-resident of the Indian? We all know that NRI stands for the non-resident Indian. So what is a non-resident Indian and who is a non-resident Indian? According to Act, see friends, an individual residing abroad is defined as the non-resident, right? The name non-resident of Indian, that means the person who is an Indian but not staying in India, right? In the financial year, under the IT Act, under the Income Tax Act, he stay if his stay does not exceed 181 days, that means if a person stays in India up to 181 days only, then he become NRI, right? If his stay increases more than 181 days, then he will become resident of India. So the basic definition according to IT Act is very simple. In the financial year, if a person stay in India does not exceed 181 days, then he become non-resident of India. If he reside in India for more than 181 days, then he become resident of India. But for becoming non-resident, he should not stay more than 181 days in India. Okay, this is the definition according to the IT Act, that is the Income Tax Act. So friends, however, an NRI become the resident of India in any financial year if he stay in India for 182 days or more. That means if his stay exceeds 181 days, that is 182 or more, he become the resident of India. That means the person residing in the India. Okay, what is the criteria for the resident? So don't get confused with the resident and the citizenship. Citizenship is different and resident is different. So resident is only for the stay in India. So resident criteria is you have to stay in India more than 182 days, right? For example, see here, if you are working in a bank and if you are deputed to the World Bank and you stay abroad India, right? If you stay abroad India and your stay in India is not having the more than 182 days, then you will be treated as the non-resident Indian. You are the citizen of India, but you are not the resident of India. That means you are not residing in India. That's why you will become non-resident Indian. That is NRI. Okay, that means the person does not stay in India, right? The simple definition is this. Okay, remember that days according to IT Act, in a financial year your stay should not exceed 181 days in India, then you become a NRI. Okay, remember they can ask this one liner MCQ also. We have discussed NRI according to the IT Act. Now what is the NRI definition according to FEMA Act, that is the Foreign Exchange Management Act. So FEMA 99 says a non-resident in Indian, that is the NRI, means a person residing outside India and who is a citizen of India. Remember, who is NRI? NRI is also the citizen of India. Remember, don't get confused with the citizenship and the residentship. Okay, so NRI means he is the citizen of India but just he stay outside the India. Okay, this include the Indian citizen residing abroad for the employment or for having their own businesses also. It also includes the Indian citizen working in the abroad for the foreign governments, and also include the Indian government official deputed abroad. So it basically include the all the citizens who are residing outside the India, right? So according to FEMA, it is just NRI is nothing but the person residing outside India and who is also the citizen of India. This is the broad definition, but in IT Act they have very clearly says if he does not stay in India for 181 days. That means if he stay in India for more than 181 days, then he will become resident. Okay, otherwise he will become non-resident Indian. So it is clear to you. Now what is the PIO? That is a person of Indian origin. The name itself, it is a person having some connection with India in the previous there. For example, the person of Indian origin means who is the citizen of any other country. Remember, person of Indian origin is not the citizen of India. Difference between NRI and PIO is very clear. In NRI is the citizen of India, but PIO is not a citizen of India. PIO, that is person of Indian origin who is a citizen of any other country other than Pakistan and Bangladesh. Pakistan and Bangladesh are not included here, and has to meet some criteria, right? So to become the person of Indian origin, you should be the citizen of other country apart from Pakistan and Bangladesh, and you have to meet the certain criteria. Now we will discuss in detail what is the person with the Indian origin. So friends, see here, what when you say some person is there who is having the Indian origin, that means person with Indian origin. In short, we can say PIO. PIO is means, see, person should ideally have held an Indian passport at some point of time. That means if a person is having Indian passport in the history, in the past time, or any some time in the history or the past, we can say he is a person with the Indian origin. Very first criteria. Second criteria to become a PIO is person should have parents or the great grandparents as the citizen of India, right? That means the suppose I am right now the Indian citizen, right? And if I went to London, and my great grandchild's will become having the will be the person with the Indian origin. That means the person should have the parents or the great grandparents at the citizen of India. Then the person will call as the person with the Indian origin. And third criteria is person should be the spouse of Indian citizen. See here, person should have parents or the great grandparent. You know the Kamala Harris, the vice president of the USA, right? Her mother belonged to India. That means we can say Kamala Harris is a person with the Indian origin. Okay, through example you can remember. Now third criteria, person should be the spouse of the Indian citizen. That means person should be husband or wife of the Indian citizen. See your example. Suppose here take an example, Indian citizen, take an example, Aishwarya, right? Aishwarya is an Indian citizen, and if Aishwarya weds with the Brad Pitt, then Brad Pitt will become the person of the Indian origin. Okay, see another example. Suppose you take a suppose Salman get married with the Angelina, and Angelina is from USA, and suppose Salman from India get married with the Angelina from the USA. So Salman is an Indian citizen and Angelina is the USA citizen. So if they both get married, then Angelina become the person with the Indian origin. Okay, this is now clear to you. We have discussed the what is NRI, what is the NRI according to a FEMA Act, what is the PIO, what is difference between NRI and PIO. Remember, NRI is the citizen of India, but PIO is not the citizen of India. To have become the PIO, there are different criteria. First is ideally he should have held the Indian passport at some point of time in the history, or should have parents or the great grandparents at the citizen of India, or should be the spouse of Indian citizen. There are three criteria. If any one of your matches, then you become, say, the person of Indian origin. Now see some example. Through example you can able to understand more effectively. See, suppose Abhishek is an Indian citizen and has gone out of India for the permanent employment in America, right? So we know Abhishek is the Indian citizen and has gone out of the India for the employment in the USA. So he will become the non-resident Indian. See, Abhishek is already an Indian citizen, but now he permanently stay in America. That means his stay is in India is 0 days, or we can say less than 181 days. So that's why Abhishek become the NRI, that is non-resident Indian, right? See second example. Aishwarya is an Indian citizen and has gone to Sydney to visit her brother. Okay, and she will return within 10 days. So definitely Aishwarya is an Indian citizen and he is visiting the other country for just 10 days. So there is no change in his residency. So in her residency, so definitely Aishwarya is a resident of India. Okay, for just 10 days she is visiting, so we can say more than 181 days she stay in India. That's why Aishwarya is the resident of the India. See third example. Kamla, say Kamla H is a person of Indian origin and has arrived in the Mumbai to work in a company as a frontline manager. We know Kamala Harris is a PIO and now she came to Mumbai, that is India, and for working in the company as a manager. So definitely she will stay in India for more than 182 days, more than 181 days, that is so definitely she will become resident of India. Okay, so her stay in India will be more than 181 days. So she will become resident of India. Next, see the example. Suppose Salman is an Indian citizen and actually he resides in the Spain. If a Salman is an Indian citizen and resides in the Spain and he is visiting his relative in New Delhi for just 2 months. Okay, we know 2 months, that means only 60 days he stay in India. So if he stay only 60 days in India, so he will not become the resident. So definitely his status will be non-resident Indian. So to be a resident in India, so stay in India is at least 182 days is mandatory. At least, this is at least, your stay in India should be at least 182 days. So you will be having the status of resident of India. We all stay in India only for throughout the year 365 days. So we all are the resident of India. Okay, so they can ask you this type of one-liner case study in short, and they will ask you comment on the resident or resident status, right? So through example you can come to know how to judge, that is about the residentship in the India. Now we will move to the next part. See friends, next is the very important is the overseas corporate body. So what do you mean by overseas corporate body? So friends, see here, suppose Global Limited is a company and in that company has the 60% of the ownership with the Abhishek. Global Limited has a 60% of its ownership with Abhishek, and Abhishek is a NRI and who stay in the USA. So the company is treated as the overseas corporate body. So what do you mean by OCB? That is overseas corporate body in which NRI is having a 60% of its ownership. So remember, one-liner MCQ they can ask on the OCB. So it is very simple. The NRI is having the ownership 60 and above is treated as the company is treated as the overseas corporate body. Okay, it is very simple. Through example you can easily remember. And remember one important line also, the OCB have same facilities like the individual NRI, right? So facilities to overseas corporate body as well as the individual NRI are the same. Now what are that facility we are going to discuss? So that is called as the basically the we know all many of our Indians are staying in outside the India, so definitely they have status of the NRI, so they should invest in India. For that purpose we have different scheme, right? So see here, the NRI have been provided with the various schemes to open a bank account and invest in India. So we all know that our colleagues, our relative go abroad and earn some money. So definitely they have to, they love for India, and definitely they will invest in India. They will send some money back to India, right? So definitely we should have some scheme for them. So what are that scheme we are going to discuss one by one. Okay, so take overview. So what type of account are available for the NRI basically? So very first is the non-resident external rupee account, that is called as the NRE. So remember, there are mainly four categories of the account, mainly four that we are going to study. So remember, all are for the non-resident, that means all are category for the non-resident Indian only. So in all you will see the word NR. So in all the accounts, NR stands for the non-resident. So very first account is the non-resident external rupee account. So what do you mean by external? So remember the word external here. Non-resident is common, external rupee account. So non-resident external rupee account. In this, the only external money will be deposited. What do you mean by external? So in this account, the only foreign inward remittance is allowed. Okay, that is called as the external. So and rupee, that means the account is maintained in rupee. That means the effective balance you can say in Indian rupees only, right? So if you went to USA to work in a Google and you will receive money in a dollar, so you want to deposit that money in India, so you will open the non-resident external rupee account. So when you deposit suppose $1, around 70 rupees will be credited in your NRE rupee account. Okay, and in this account you cannot deposit the local funds generated. For example, if you went to USA from India, and in India you are having some property, say some shops are there, you have rented that, and if you earn that money in India and you are staying in USA, so funds from the local funds, that is you can say local funds in the home currency, cannot be deposited in the non-resident external rupee account, because the name itself it is external, only external funds are allowed. Okay, very simple. Now so we have that complications, so how to solve that? That's why we have the second category of the account, that is non-resident ordinary rupee account. So very simple. So to overcome the problems in first accounts, we have launched a second scheme, that is the non-resident ordinary rupee account. So name itself it is ordinary. So definitely here was the problem. Suppose you are having the citizen of India and you went to USA, and you are the citizen of India, and in India you are having some property like houses, like a house you are having suppose, and from that house you are generating some rent as income. So you can deposit the local funds in the account called as the non-resident ordinary rupee account. That means if you went to USA and you are having some local properties in India, so local funds like some dividend or some rent you are collecting in India, so you can deposit that locally collected fund in the account, that is a non-resident ordinary rupee account. So difference between external and ordinary is clear to you, and remember both are maintained in the rupee currency, only. Now see the next. Next is the foreign currency non-resident account, that is frequently called as the FCNR, that is foreign currency non-resident account. Itself the name is foreign currency, so definitely that account is maintained only in the foreign currency, say dollar. Okay, and the important criteria for this account is you cannot open saving, current or RD account. So foreign currency non-resident account is only opened as either fixed deposit or say term deposit. But in case of first and second, that is a NRE rupee account or NRO rupee account, you can open any type of account, either saving, current, RD or FD. But in case of foreign currency non-resident account, you can only open the FD or the term deposit. Now, some special non-resident rupee account. There is a one special non-resident rupee account. So definitely rupee account, it is maintained in the rupees only, and this is mainly for those who are not residing in India and doing business in India. Right, that means some NRI is there and he having the business in India. So definitely there is special account for that called as the special non-resident rupee account. We will discuss all one by one by comparative study so that you can easily remember. So before going to the detail of all, and we will study that all relatively so that you can easily remember. So before that you will heard the repatriation basis. So before going to the actual comparative study, so let's have a look about the what they mean by repatriation. So friends, see here, on a repatriable basis, the NRI can make investment in the securities, shares and bonds. So these investment can be done with the funds brought from abroad, or freely convertible currencies, or by debiting their NRE or FCNR account. That means basically repatriation basis, that means when you go to abroad and you send your money back to India, then you can invest that money. That is nothing but the repatriation basis. Okay, simple. Now see, NRI can make investment in the security, share and bonds, and the investment will be done through the funds brought from the abroad, right? And we all discussed right, that by debiting their NRE or FCNR, we have discussed that they either collect their funds through NRE accounts or the FCNR accounts. So by debiting their account, we can invest that fund into the different shares and bonds. That is nothing but the repatriation basis. So friends, the NRI are also permitted to purchase shares and debenture issued by the Indian companies. And remember, the NRO accounts have limited access for the repatriation. So what do you mean by repatriation? That is basically investment in the Indian companies by the non-resident Indians. Okay, so NRO have limited access for the repatriation, and NRO account restrict you from permitting more than $1 million inclusive of the taxes during an assessment year. So we have discussed here three types. Out of this, the purpose of this account we have already discussed. The collection of local fund is important in this account. So as you are depositing the rupee money in the this ordinary account, so here we can say we can deposit rupee also, you can deposit dollar also, because it is ordinary account. So from foreign you can send the dollar, and locally generated funds like rent also can be deposited. So that's why there is a restriction on this NRO account, that limit is 1 million. Limit is 1 million for the repatriation, that is for the investment. Limit is 1 million, which include the taxes during the assessment year. So remember which account has the limitations, very very important. If you come to know the concept and purpose of the account, you can easily mark the MCQ, which is very very important for the MCQ point of view. You have to remember NRO account has the limited access for the repatriation, and what is limit? 1 million US dollar in the assessment year. Next, you can repatriate the interest amount freely, but the principal amount can be repatriated only within set limits. That means the 1 million is having the principal amount. If 1 million, it is okay, but beyond that, if you earn some interest through the account, that interest you can invest, you cannot invest. That means the the principal amount, that is 1 million, you have limitations of the principal amount of 1 million, but interest, whatever the interest you earn on that 1 million, you can freely invest that amount. That is the basic thing in the NRO account. And it also require the undertaking along with the certificate from the accountant. However, repatriation is the free for NRE account holder for both principal as well as the interest amount. But in case of NRE account, we all know only funds from the abroad is coming, there is no deposit of the local funds. So definitely in case of a NRE there is no restriction for the repatriation, but in case of NRO there is restriction for the repatriation basis. Limit is for principal it is a 1 million, and for interest it is a free. For interest there is no limit. For principal limit is a 1 million. But in case of a NRE, that is non-resident external, there is no limit for the principal as well as interest. You can freely repatriate in case of a NRE accounts. So we will discuss all the that are 4 types through the comparative study. Okay, so see that. So friends, see the relative and the comparative study between the NRE account, NRO account and the FCNR account. So we have already discussed the basic about the NRE account, right, NRO account and the FCNR account. Now when you study that comparatively, you can easily remember that all the accounts. So friends, from this chart you can see the MCQ in your examination. So friends, this is very important chart. So let's start the comparing the different types of schemes available to the NRI accounts. So very first is the purpose. What is the purpose of opening that account? So friends, see, NRE stands for non-resident external rupee account. So it is external keyword you have to remember here. In case of NRO, it is non-resident ordinary rupee account. So ordinary keyword you have to remember. In case of FCNR, that is foreign currency non-resident account, foreign currency keyword you have to remember. So through the keyword you have to judge the. So friends, very first is the what is the purpose of opening the account. So friends, see, the purpose of opening the NRE account is only to send the foreign income to the India. To send foreign income, that is income earned abroad, and you have to send that to India. That means if you went, suppose you go to the USA and you earn some money in dollar. So if you want to send money that in a dollar to the India, so you should open the NRE account, that is a non-resident external rupee account. Okay, next, what is the purpose of NRO? The purpose of NRO account is to hold the income from India. That means if you go to USA and still you are earning some money from India, suppose you are having some house in India and you have rented that house, and whatever the rent you are earning in India, so to hold that income you need account. That's why the purpose of NRO is to hold the income from India, right? And in that account you can also deposit money from the abroad. So both the purpose are served in the NRO account. That is, it is called, that's why it is called as the ordinary rupee account. Okay, and next is the FCNR. Basically this is the very important, because whenever the whatever the you earn in the foreign, if you want to the fixed deposit, or you can say term deposit, so for the making the fixed deposit and term deposit, you have to open the FCNR account. That is only for the fixed deposit and term deposit. Now in which currency that account is maintained? So remember, NRE account is maintained only in the rupees. NRO account is also maintained in the rupees, but FCNR, that is foreign currencies keyword you have to use. So definitely this is maintained on the foreign currency. Okay, now see the what type of account you can open. So under NRE external you can open saving, current, RD, term deposit, or you can say fixed deposit. So any type you can open. Similarly for NRO you can open saving, current, RD, term deposit or a fixed deposit. Either you can open. But in case of FCNR, remember, it is a very important MCQ that you can open only either fixed deposit or the term deposit. In case of FCNR, remember, FCNR is only fixed deposit or the term deposit. You can see this MCQ in your examination. Next, what is the duration? Duration also you have to remember. It is very easy to remember. Generally it is ordinary account. We generally open a bank FD for a minimum period of 7 days or a maximum period of 10 years. Okay, so similarly it is ordinary. You can say, you can easily remember ordinary account is, that is NRO, the time period is minimum for the 7 days and maximum is 10 year. But if you go for the NRE, the minimum time period for the NRE is 1 year and maximum time period for the NRE account is 10 year. And if you go for the FCNR, that is as there is a foreign currency involved, there is a risk involved, there is a trouble involved, and as there is a risk involved, the duration of maximum is only 5 year. That means 1 year to 5 year. 1 year is the minimum duration and 5 year is the maximum duration. So why duration is less? Because we are dealing in here only in the foreign currency, and we are having the risk. So as a foreign currency involved, there is a risk involved, so maximum duration is limited, there is 5 years. Okay, so comparatively you can easily remember NRO is ordinary, so like ordinary account 7 to 10 year, 7 days to 10 year. But in case of NRE, it is a 1 year to 10 year, and comparatively for a foreign currency account FCNR, that is a 1 year to 5 year. Okay, now we have to see the credits, what you can credit in your accounts. So in a NRE accounts, you can only deposit the foreign currency, that is money earned in the foreign, and you have to send to India. That's why it is a credit is only foreign currency credits are allowed. You cannot deposit the Indian rupees in this account. Okay, but in case of NRO, the purpose is the same. You have to hold the income of India. So here you can deposit foreign currency also, and you can deposit the home currency also. And similarly, very simple, FCNR, the name itself is FC, that is foreign currency. So that's why foreign currency only you can deposit in the FCNR account, because it is maintained only in the foreign currency. Only foreign currency credits are allowed. So next is the nomination. It is very simple. Nomination is allowed now in all scheme. So don't go in detail all that. Next is the joint account operation. So whether the joint account is allowed, so definitely joint account is allowed in the all scheme. Next, important is the, can you make a joint account with other NRI? So in NRI account, you can make a joint account other with NRI, in a NRO also, and in FCNR also. That means one NRI can have a joint account with other NRI in all the scheme. Now, can you open the joint account with the resident? See, you are going abroad and you have to open the joint account with your relative. So in NRE account, it is allowed. Yes, it is allowed, and only with the resident relative is allowed. That means the joint holder should be the relative of you, and through the power of attorney is also required. And in case of ordinary, it is ordinary. So you can easily open a resident joint account with the resident. And similarly in FCNR also you can open the joint account, but here also the power of attorney is required, and resident should be your relative, that is RR, that is resident should be your relative. Okay, it is very simple. Next is the how it can be operated, joint operation, how the joint account should be operated. So in all the categories, joint account should be operated as the farmer or the survivor. What do you mean by farmer or survivor? Very simple. The person, if the death of the main account holder happens, then only the second account holder is able to operate the account. Otherwise, only first account holder can operate the account. It is very simple, right? Next is the repatriable. It is very important. They can ask MCQ mainly on this repatriable. In case of NRE account, you can fully repatriate. That means you can do the investment of all the amount. That means principal plus interest you can invest. But in case of NRO, there is limitations. So it is limitations set by RBI. Maximum you can repatriate, invest that is the $1 million of the principal. But whatever the interest you earn on that principal is freely allowed to repatriate. Remember, $1 million is limit for the NRO account for the repatriation basis. That is only the principal amount of $1 million, but interest is freely repatriable. Similarly, in case of FCNR, the full principal and interest, there is no limit for repatriation in case of FCNR account. That means you can invest whatever the amount you want to do. But in case of only NRO, it is NRO account. So here you are depositing the local money also. That's why there is limitations of $1 million on the principal. but whatever the interest you earn, it is freely repatriable. Next, the risk involved. See, whatever the risk involved in the foreign currency, we all know that in all the types the foreign money is able to remit. So that's why there is a risk involved, and when there is risk involved, who will bear the risk? So very important, in case of NRE account, the customer bear the foreign currency fluctuation risk, but in case of NRO, there is no involvement of the foreign currency risk. And similarly, in case of FCNR, the risk is involved, and definitely as it is for the fixed FD or term deposit, bank have to bear the risk, because it is a agreement. We all know in a fixed deposit or term deposit there is agreement from the bank regarding the rate of interest. That's why the risk should be borne by the bank. Okay, now what is about the interest rate? So very simple, it is as per the bank's rule. In case of NRE, in case of NRO, it is also as per the bank's rule, but in case of FCNR, it is linked to the LIBOR, that is London Interbank Offer Rate. Okay, so very easy to remember. The most important, you have to remember what is the purpose of that account, right? What is the currency of that account, in which currency that account is dealing. Next, type of account which you have to open, right? You can open in NRE and NRO, all types of accounts are eligible, but in case of FCNR, only fixed deposit or the term deposits are allowed. What is the maximum and minimum duration? We have discussed what type of currency you can credit, what amount of funds you can credit. Then nomination, joint operation, joint with the NRI and resident, we have discussed. Then joint operation, in all it is a former or the survivor. Then repatriable basis, repatriation, that is very important, that we have discussed. In FCNR and NRE, it is a full repatriation is allowed, but only in case of a NRO, $1 million principal limit is there. We have discussed risk, and we have also discussed the interest rate. Now, one important thing I want to bring your attention, that a transfer of funds, how and from which account to which account you can transfer the funds. So friends, see here, from NRE account, from this NRE account, you can transfer fund to other NRE account, you can transfer fund to other NRO account, and you can also transfer funds to the FCNR account. That means NRE account is more flexible in case of a transfer of the funds. Okay, it is very easy to remember. Next, transfer of funds from the NRO account. From NRO account, you can transfer fund to the other NRO account. Okay, now next, from NRO account, you cannot transfer fund to the NRE account. From NRO account, similarly, you cannot transfer fund to the FCNR, or neither you can transfer fund to the SNRR account. So it is very easy and easy to remember. NRE account is very flexible, you can transfer fund to any account, and from NRO account you cannot transfer fund to the other accounts except the NRO to NRO. That means NRO account is not flexible in case of a transfer of funds. Okay, from this also they can frame a MCQ, like if you want to they will give a statement. One NRI is there and he want to transfer a fund from NRO account to NRA account. Is this possible? So it is not possible. So in this way they can frame a question. So basically this chart is very important. Through that chart only they can frame a one-liner MCQ. Now we will discuss the some remaining part from this chapter, this unit. So what is the suppose the account opened by foreigners. If some foreigner come to India for the short visit, right? Suppose the foreigner, like we can say, suppose the Angelina Jolie came to India for some short visit, then how can and which account can she operate or she open? So definitely the NRO, that is saving or current account, can be opened during a short visit to India. Remember, whenever the foreigner visit to India for the short visit, they can open NRO account only, and that account duration is maximum up to the 6 months. Very important. They can ask you a question. Suppose a foreigner visiting to India, up to what duration she can open an account. So NRO account is generally open and duration is 6 months only, because it is a short visit. So validity for the account is only 6 months. Next, credit of remittance through approved channels. So definitely the credit to that account is only through the approved channels. And remember, no local credits are allowed in this account. That means suppose Angelina Jolie came to India and if she want to deposit some Indian rupees, it is not allowed to do so. Okay, only the foreign inward remittance through the approved channel is allowed in this account. Okay, next, the account does not, if the account is not closed within 6 months, that means if Angelina Jolie go to USA back but she forgot to close that account within 6 months, then RBI permission is required for remittance. Whatever the funds in the account she is having to remit that amount abroad, the RBI permission is required. So basically you have to just remember in this whenever the foreigner visit to India for a short duration, he can open the NRO account, saving or a current account, and duration is only up to 6 months. That only you have to remember. And in that case, in that account, no local credits are allowed. Okay, now we have to discuss last type, that is the very simple, that is the special non-resident rupee account. As there is a special keyword and it is also the rupee account, so it is, in short, it is called as the SNRR account. So friends, the person resident outside the India and doing business in India can open this account. That means if NRI went to USA and but still he is doing some business in India, so he have to open special non-resident rupee account. So they may ask one-liner case study, like suppose Abhishek is an Indian resident and he went to USA and he is doing a business in the Bangalore. So which account he can open? So definitely he should open for the business of NRI account is the special non-resident rupee account, that is SNRR account. Okay, but in case of Bangladeshi and the Pakistani citizen, they need special permission from the RBI. Okay, now what is the duration of the account? Generally this is for the business purpose account, so for the tenure of the business or up to maximum 7 years. Very important, the duration for that account is up to 7 years. You can open this account. Beyond 7 years you cannot operate this account. But the SNRR for making investment as per the FEMA can continue beyond 7 years. That means if you want to invest from that account, you can continue beyond 7 years. And remember, the type of account is non-interest bearing, as it is for the business purpose. There is no interest on that funds. Okay, debit and credit incidental to the and commensurate to the business transaction. That means basically debit and credit are allowed only for the business transaction, and balance is eligible for the repatriation. That means you can invest that balance, the funds you are having in the SNRR account. Repatriation, that means basically investment in the India, and you cannot transfer fund from NRO. That means from NRO to SNRR fund transfer is not allowed. So friends, thank you for the watching video. We'll continue our discussion in the next video.